telling you I'm doing ridiculous stuff with DSP on a tablet.
Yeah.
Right. And so the speaker on this tablet that I was DSPing, it rolls off it seriously about 450 hertz. And then that's all the speaker can do. But of course, I wanted to see what it could do. Like, let me bump up 100 hertz and see if I can hear that.
Yeah.
Forcing it to do it, and it's way down. I would say if I were to look at the graph, maybe it's 30 dB down. Right. And of course, I bumped that up. I shouldn't be able to notice that much when I'm playing music. But in the bass, I can tell when you bump it up a little bit. Even it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of got me thinking, what is audible? And maybe it's in the bass where you start noticing more.
Yeah. So my guess if you're talking like distortion.
Yeah.
Yeah. My guess is it's probably a driver that doesn't have much excursion at all. So you're creating some kind of modulated distortion effects, and those are audible in the mid range.
Oh, they start affecting. Yeah.
So that's the really interesting stuff to me. So harmonic distortion doesn't tell you that, but multitone distortion and intermodulated distortion will tell you that as well. But I just skip intermod and I just go straight to multitone, because multitone to me is more important. And I did a video on that like a year and a half ago, and I provided sound clips, and you can definitely tell like at really low levels of multitone distortion, you can't really tell, right? But then when you get to the point, in my testing, it was like 3%. When you get to that level, you can definitely tell a difference. But if you like graduate into it, it's not like you're able to tell. But if you go in A/B really quickly, this level versus this level distortion, and I level match the signals, right? So I didn't change anything except for just the overall level. So when I play it back, you hear low distortion versus high distortion at the same sound level, but you hear that increased mid-range distortion from the multitone distortion, from that woofer being crazy, and overexerting it, things like that. And it's definitely audible. It sounds like everything is really grainy. That's the best way I can describe it.
It's all related to the stuff we were talking about earlier about the tweeter material, things like that. Because I had those Focal Stellia headphones that are beryllium. Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, man, it sounds like it's whistling when it does the high frequencies. Oh. Like it sounds not in a bad way. It sounded so smooth, like it could do the high frequencies so easily.
Yeah.
I could do another speaker where like, oh, it's about the same, but it wasn't doing it with ease. And I'm like, oh, I hate that I sound so audiophile-y, in describing this. I don't know how else to do it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Sometimes I'm the same way. I mean, dude, I just listened to a pair of speakers a few days ago, and I was like, they sound pretty nice. And in my notes, I wrote a couple pros and cons. And I think, one of the cons that I put, like, I think I said maybe like 2 to 3 kilohertz was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. It seems like something's not quite right there. But overall, I like the speaker, right? Yeah. And the bass output was good, and the ability for it to get loud. It's a 6.5-inch mid-woofer bookshelf speakers. Actually, I don't know if you can. No, hold on, this way. There. Hold on.
I don't know. I see a ELAC. What is it?
So, the Don Audio Special 40s.
See? Don Audio.
Yeah, Don Audio. Hold on.
All right. I haven't seen a Don Audio actually in a while.
Yeah, so I got those from a car audio friend of mine who I posted up in my Facebook group. Hey, if anybody's got any Don Audio speakers, please let me know. And he's a dealer for them on some other brands. He's like, yeah, what you want? And I was like, whatever you can send me. He's like, I'll send you these. So anyway, I listened to them, and I listened sighted, and I don't have necessarily an affinity for Don Audio. Some of their stuff I think is completely overpriced. And then some stuff I think is really good, but still expensive, but worth it. If you've got the extra money. Like I used to run some Don Audio mids in my car, $800 per pair at dealer price, right? I had the hookup, so I was able to get them for less. But I don't know necessarily that they were much better than a set of $200 ScanSpeak full range drivers, really, that like 4-inch drivers. So yeah, they're sighted. Listening to this is what I'm getting to. But I was like, I kind of like these speakers, and then I put them on the machine and I saw the results and I was like, ooh. So that one, it's not great. It's not great. And it made me think like, okay, so why did I like this speaker? And what I think, and this is just my opinion, is that the problems with the speaker's linearity, namely, there's a couple pretty large dips, and dips don't seem to be a problem. Like, I don't know if you've run into that, but when there's a dip, okay. If there's a spike or a strong peak or something, then I'm going to hear that. But when there's a dip, it's just something's not there.
I think it depends on how wide. I look at it as a ratio of like, because a dip means that the rest is a peak. You know, if you think about it.
No, for sure. It's all relative. It's all relative. Yeah. I've said that a number of times. Like it's all relative. And so like
on a lady, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, there's curve out and in, you know what I mean?
Right. And if there's a lady behind her and she's just a square or a big rectangle, then you're going to see more of her, you know, like
there's the shape.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But anyway, my point was to say that this speaker does not measure great, but I still enjoy it. And I think the reason I enjoy it is because there wasn't anything that stood out negatively about it. So when I went back and listened to it again and filled in some of the peaks or the dips, it sounded better. But
yeah,
could have been worse.
So
she's coming to smack you on your head because you forgot your daughter's age.
Yeah, I know. It's all right.
What's up?
She's getting the vacuum.
Right.
What I was gonna say, I forgot.
How handsome you think I am? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So here's that measurement of this tablet speaker, because I'm sure everybody's dying to see it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I know. I gotta do it. I have to. This is a little Samsung Galaxy tablet, but this is after I EQ'd it. You know, because before it looks pretty ridiculous.
Oh, it's actually a tablet. Okay,
it's a tablet.
Okay,
you know that's the response of it. You know, it has a
naturally
crazy
wow.
peak. You see that one?
It's like that.
I don't know. But anyway, I was EQing it, and so you can see what I was doing. I was trying to extend the bass out over here.
Yeah.
Normal roll off is probably, like I was saying, like 450. I'm being generous. Mm-hmm. But then I went, you know what? Let me just go nuts. What happens if I keep it at a super low volume and just do this? I forced it, right? And just let's see what happens. And it was making some pretty bad noises. But what was interesting here was these changes here. You see this green line? Let me get this off the screen for a second. But you see this green one here? Yeah. How below here, I could bump up 100 hertz easily, you know? Mm-hmm. And you would think that's so far down compared to this that it's like, who cares? Like, don't even bother.
Yeah.
I could hear it. When you're playing music, you can hear, it's making, it sounds different.
I wonder if I don't know how these things are constructed. I'm just curious. I wonder if those speakers, if there's any like kind of tactile speakers built into these too, like at some frequency, it makes the frame resonate. I mean, probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah. So anything at low volume can make bass. It depends on the volume, right? So if I were to put my ear to this and at low volume, I'm like, oh, that sounds like bass, you know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, the interesting thing was just that even changing bass down here, that was, look at it, minus 25 relative. Oh, this is, here's 0, 30, minus 30. Bumping it up a few notches here was audible.
Right.
And that was kind of surprising. I don't know if it should be surprising, but I was expecting to not hear that difference, but I could. A little side note, check out this MacBook Pro that I use, the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Mm-hmm. So, slim profile, but look at this. Here's a near field measurement of the MacBook Pro.
Whoa.
Isn't that nuts?
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, because they use dual opposing.
Yeah, okay.
Canceling drivers in there. And I'm like, this MacBook sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
of course.
That's pretty cool.
It does dynamic stuff. So you turn it up and then it starts tapering that off a lot. Yeah, it's not even here. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, let me get this off the screen. Who cares about little tiny speakers? But it's cool. One of those things. Very interesting. If you test tiny speakers, the same principles apply, but you just start seeing interesting things that you're not used to seeing, measuring normal speakers. Make sure to join us every Monday for our live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/Daily HiFi.